And yeah.
Been there. and super cool opening. So that's all you're getting. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. Appreciate y'all already being here. Jeez. But we are here tonight with Andrew, who plays Lucas, on Unexpected Field Work, the name that we ended up coming up with this campaign. Even though we haven't done any field work really, this part
I
of
was
the
wondering
campaign.
about that too.
No,
Because
so originally, when we started this campaign, it was like an archaeological campaign, and we ended up calling it Unexpected Field Work, and it made sense for that part of the campaign. So
it doesn't make sense now. We're freaking pirates.
fuck it, we're about to be air pirates.
Yes, we are.
Because
You'll
shit.
allow it? You'll allow it?
Because I'll allow it. I'm still laughing at the fact that when I said that last night, my oldest came running in. Dad, what you just said, it's on the thing. It's on the thing. I'm like, yeah, I know. I used the catchphrase.
I remember seeing that, her running in, and
It's the funniest thing. And then, sad thing, you know that mini that I was showing off? The mini of me, and it has I'll allow it at the bottom. I broke it.
why'd you do that?
I didn't mean to. It
Uh-huh.
fell. I didn't have it in the safest of places.
That's why you should have it put up.
Well, I'm aware.
Now.
But anyway, let's introduce Lucas here real quick. I'm going to put up some character art of him. That was drawn by the wonderful Kate, the Event Horizon. Nothing, don't worry about it. I didn't break nothing. I didn't talk about anything breaking. Anyway. Lucas, you want to introduce him a little bit here?
So Lucas is a Kalistar, right? That's how you pronounce it, Kalistar?
Kalistar.
Okay.
Mhm.
So he's a Kalistar monk. He just a little bit of backstory with him. He liked telling untruths. He used to just basically kind of think of the boy who cried wolf, and that's what I did up until the age of like 5 or 6.
So the boy who called Dragon.
Yes, the boy who called Dragon. And then he got sent to a monastery. Like the town made my parents give me up to this monastery. And I've been there, and what happened was they took away my voice. They spelled my voice away to where I can't talk. But Kalistars have this ability called Mind Link to where I can actually talk to anything, and even if I don't speak the language, they will understand me and I will understand them. And I wanted an adventure, and that's kind of how I ran away from the monastery and was trying to get on a boat and ran into Andy, who knew one of the people who trained me at the monastery.
Yep. And that person being Nira Farah, which was actually my wife's character in the first half of the campaign. And I just real quick here, just gushing about this drawing. How beautiful and perfect is that?
Yeah, this is truly how I see Lucas. Always a smile on his face, and just as a monk jumping around and everything like that. And absolutely love it. And by the way, the highlighted message, that is my mother. And so the fact that she's like, oh yeah, since you love talking so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's perfect. It works. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. I love just the birds just being around. The monk clothes are beautifully perfect. And the fun thing is, the Cobalt Soul, their color is usually like the blue of those birds. I just love the fact that Lucas totally would not be wearing that blue. Cause fuck that.
Well, like, whenever Kate was trying to, get with me to, okay, we got to get a drawing of Lucas, and I'm like, fucking Jedi robes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of what I want, but sadly she didn't put my pirate hat in there that she gave me. She's like, it didn't look good.
Yeah, she was explaining. She's like, I couldn't get it to look good. Plus, with the way his hair is just waving around, oh, that took it back up. The way the hair is just waving around, it's so free, carefree, just like he is, and I love that. And then when I made the token, I put the ring around here like this, because it was just so bright, and it matches the hair a lot, but it's just so bright and beautiful looking, and I don't know, it just gave me Lucas vibes. I guess I don't know how to.
No. That is
explain.
That is totally Lucas. I mean.
Yeah. It's made me so happy. Kind of looks like you when you were younger. Aww. Well, okay. Andrew's mom, we're gonna need some pics. We're gonna need some little kid pics, and we need to see.
So I have a few because, as my mom can attest to this, I used to have this like golden blonde hair, and she grew it out to where it was down to my ass. Like when I was like 4 or 5 years old, having hair down to my ass, and I have a few of those pictures.
Oh my! I need to know one thing. Did you have a mullet?
Actually, yes, I did. I lived in Germany. I lived in Germany for a few years. Whenever I was kindergarten through 4th grade, and that was the early '90s, early to mid '90s. And
Deutsch?
No, I was playing paper football with my best friend behind.
Nein, ich bin Ausländer und spreche Nico Deutsch. Okay.
But yeah, so I had a mullet because the mullet was the big thing that was in at that time. So I wanted to fit in with all my friends, and I grew a mullet. So,
pics. Yeah. Need pics. By the way,
I could...
real quick, none of y'all know, but like in our chat in the Discord, we have a lot of fun. And there was one night we were just posting old pictures of ourselves. It started because I found a picture of emo Kate.
Yes.
She had the like scene hair, and the picture was like from this angle and all that, and I'm like, ooh. And then little Morgan, that didn't even look like him.
Oh heck no!
I don't know if it was just like he was clean shaven or just what, but your camera just moved right back to where it was.
It moved a little bit
and back. Just all those pictures were wonderful, and what a fun night that was. And baby Norse, that didn't look like him either.
I think I was the only one who didn't post old pictures. So...
Yeah, I noticed you didn't, and that is why I'm saying.
I look the same, like especially since high school. I really haven't changed other than the facial hair.
Discord link, is it working in my chat there? The stream elements above you, Nimue? Not the one right above you, but the one above that one. Is that link working? If it's not, I'll see what I can do about fixing that. But this is the Discord. Oh, it's not working. All right, I will fix it. The Discord that we're talking about is definitely a more private Discord. But my main just group hangout Discord is definitely a wonderful place. Most of my players, whether they've been my players for a while or if they were in some one shots, are in there, and they are wonderful people, for sure. Real quick, Nimue, I'll just do the Discord link right here. You can click that and you should be able to join with that, ma'am. I did want to ask, would you like to tell the story on how you joined this D&D game, sir, because it's a hilarious story and I love it.
Well, I met Nat, who is Andy in the group, and we were talking, and she's like, "Yeah, I play D&D." I'm like, "That is freaking awesome." I was like, I like I have not played a weekly campaign in um for longer than a month for like 15 years. So I'm like, I've got to get into this. I dropped down on my knees and I was begging. I was like, please, please let me in. And she's like, I'll talk to the DM and see about it because we are missing a character right now. So I'll see what I can do.
Yeah,
So that
and
is
she messaged. She literally explained that you were down on your knees, begging, begging. Anyway, sorry, that song is now in my head. Way to go. She told me about that, and I'm like, well, I mean, if this guy's that like needs a fucking game, yeah, sure, I'll let him in. Why not? I
and I
suppose.
and I've been the golden retriever boy ever since.
Yes, yes. Um, I I just love and we kind of talked a little bit last night about how that happened.
Yeah.
Um, how did Lucas come about? What was?
So with well, honestly, it was with Andy as well, with Nat. Her and I were talking. She's like, yeah, with you being a Calistar, I think, we were throwing back and forth ideas of like how Lucas should act. And from there, it just kind of evolved into, it's like, oh yeah, Kate wanted a dog, like basically a pet, like a golden retriever in the game, so we got her Lucas. And so ever since then, I've just been trying to play how I see Lucas, that carefree attitude with um a little bit holding back as well because I was a monk, so I know meditation. That's basically what I did most of last campaign or last session because there wasn't much for Lucas could do.
Yeah.
How I want it to how I want to play him. Granted, me personally, I love combat. I want to jump in and fight, but that's not Lucas.
Mm. Um, that was definitely golden retriever himbo. Is Lucas a himbo? Is he a himbo?
I don't even know what a himbo is.
Neither do I. It's fine. I was hoping you would.
Nope, nope, don't know.
Nimue, if you wouldn't mind informing these two idiots on what a himbo is. I have heard the oh, Tinny had to Google it too. Good. We're not the only idiots here. Awesome.
I'm googling it right now.
You are okay.
An attractive but unintelligent man. No, actually, Lucas
No.
is fairly intelligent.
Yeah.
He,
We talked about how like he used to read a lot. So he is definitely an intelligent man.
I mean,
Um,
my stats don't say that, but I mean, my stats are a 10 for intelligence, so I'm decently intelligent, but I'm well read.
yeah, he's very well read. Is definitely a perfect way to explain it. Uh, uh, I usually define it as a smart dumb person. Lucas is too pure to be a himbo.
Actually, with that explanation, the smart dumb person, I kind of see that a bit because
Yeah.
he is intelligent, but he, he's naive.
Yeah, that would be the word that I use for him. Just simply because he hasn't been out in the world
Yeah,
enough to know. Do we touch this thing? Can I talk to this thing? I'm just gonna talk to it, and we'll see what happens. Uh,
yeah. So like with Lucas first meeting everybody, he tries to touch Abu's hands on his tusk, and that did not go over very well with Abu.
no,
So
I remember that.
um yeah, so I see things and I want to, ooh, what is this? I want to talk, like me talking to a dragon. Why? Because I can talk to the dragon and I wanted to know what it was. Could have,
And that, whoops,
my cats.
cats. If they ain't stepping
I
on
mean,
your keyboard, they're knocking your camera. It's
yep.
what they do. I definitely love everything that he's been able to learn and discover throughout the world, especially um, with the dragon. That came completely out of nowhere. It was just I had written down that there's a dragon in this area, and I can't remember who rolled for the weather that day, but they rolled very clear, beautiful weather, and I'm like, well, the dragon would probably be out then, enjoying the weather, and he ran into you guys,
And Lucas sees it and like, hey, I want to talk to it. So
and and the name of that dragon, I have no idea where it came from.
Aloysius.
Aloysius. It was the most fanciest, coolest sound, old man sounding word that came to my mind. I That's honestly how I named so many NPCs. What's a cool sounding? That's how Dave happened. I couldn't come up with anything cool, so I was like, Dave.
Well, another way you can do it is if, I mean, how I've seen some people do it is put in superheroes. Put in, a Steven who has a heart of gold and, wants to, protect everybody, as in, Captain America. You
Mm-hmm.
can, take people that we know from other fandoms and change them and just put them into the game. And that's what I've done with a few of the games that I've DM'd before.
Ooh, I never really thought of that. I should definitely do something with that.
I mean,
Uh,
because you already have their character fleshed out because of it, you just can easily throw in a person like that.
you guys come upon a man battling a dragon alone, using only a shield, and you hear the words, "Come on, I can do this all day."
Exactly, exactly. So it's just it's great ways to create NPCs in the game.
I had never thought of that, and I'm definitely using it now. For sure. Ah, this is one reason why I always love being a DM, is just I can throw whatever at you, whatever. And I I made a TikTok not that long ago, um, saying like I just learned that there's DMs out there who use the CR system to create encounters, and they don't just go, "Ooh, that looks cool. They'll fight that now."
I'm the same way. Like the last game that I DM'd, I threw in too many monsters and my party was getting killed. And I'm just like, oh shit, this is too bad. And so I'm like, okay, let me nerf some of these, stats real quick, and just so they wouldn't like it wouldn't be a party wipe.
Yeah,
Because I was
totally
I was
done that.
introducing D&D to my brother and my nephew, and so I'm like, I don't want them to die, but I rolled a nat 20 on my brother one time to critical hit him, and I'm like, oh yeah, I rolled a 17. Does that hit? So I'm like, no,
Yeah,
I'm not going to just kill him in his first game out because he'll never want to play again.
every DM's done that, where they're like, natural 3, natural 3, damn, just missed. Uh, I actually did that. One of the very first games that I DM'd, it was in Curse of Strahd, and they were in the beginner place, and there was a wizard, and if you know anything about wizards, they're squishy as hell. And I think he had 12 hit points, and I got a natural 20, and I rolled max damage, which amounted to double his hit points. And if you take double your maximum hit points, in a single hit, you're dead. No death saves. And I'm like, ah, damn, double ones on the damage.
You took 2
Shit.
damage. Congratulations.
Darn. Yeah, it was. I've totally done that. I have not actually done that in a while. I have not fudged any rolls in a while. Because I haven't had to. My players are smart enough to get out of sticky situations.
Freaking Abu throwing that damn cannon, that was...
Oh, God.
That was genius.
He made it into a fucking grenade.
Yeah.
And I made that do double damage. Because it was inside of him. Like,
yeah.
That was cool. Note to self, next time I use a death bark, I'm just going to use a boat mimic with it.
I was going to say...
I have stat block for that.
Yeah. The thing that I love is just the cool things that Lucas can do. He was up on the mast when that death bark attacked. And I'm like, yep, I'm going to run across here, then I'm just going to jump.
Leap. Just so cool. My fiance and I laughed about that because our game had a crazy cannon kill too. Our rogue sneak attacked with a cannon and rolled super high.
Oh shit, that is awesome.
Jesus. Yeah, now that.
I was gonna say, and then just like the little things like Lucas learning how to shoot a cannon. That absolutely awesome for him. He's like, hey, I can shoot this. Can I shoot it again? And they're like, no, not right now.
The coolest thing was, he still doesn't know how many people he murdered on there.
I like Lucas has no clue, and Andy or anybody isn't telling him. So
that's a good question though. If he found out, how would Lucas react to that?
I don't know. Like with how I'm playing him, I don't know whether he'll actually care, because he was, in his eyes, he was doing something to protect his friends. And that is kind of how Lucas is right now, at least, is I want to be included. I want to be liked. I want, Quig could really get Lucas to do anything he wants. Or anything Quig wants Lucas to do. For the simple fact of, she was nice to him without having to be nice to him. She bought me a freaking hat, and now is talking about buying me a jacket because I liked her brother's jacket. I'm like, yeah. So I'm kind of slowly transitioning Lucas into a pirate-looking monk, and from there we'll see where it goes. Whether he will.
Is I have a surprise for Lucas too, waiting somewhere nearby.
Awesome.
And it'll bring smiles to Lucas, for sure.
And that's yes, a sweet homeschool.
No,
yes.
Not even homeschool. He was fucking sent to boarding school.
And so with how, with a little bit about my backstory, I haven't even really talked to Dustin about this. He was in solitary confinement a lot because he was a young kid who got torn away from his family, spelled not to talk, and basically this is what you have to do, and if you don't do it, you're in trouble. So I was in trouble a lot because I didn't want to do what they told me to do, because I still wanted to talk. Even though if you look at our first, it was the first session that we saw the Man of Shadows, right?
For you, I think it was your second session. Yeah.
Oh, well, regardless, it's like we met this Man of Shadows, and Lucas gave up his ability to talk forever. Like, I gave up my voice, and so I will truly never be able to talk again unless something happens, which in D&D shit happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I gave it up willingly, and I got a feat for it. The Keen Mind. It was Keen Mind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll remember everything that I read for a month, like within a month's time.
Yeah. And by the way, you don't like forget everything every month.
Yeah, it's
Like
just not
it's just
clear.
yeah. You recall it for in perfect clarity for a month. Anything you read or you hear. It's pretty much anything you experience for a month.
And then also, I always know which way is north.
Mm-hmm.
So
and what time of day it is. Thank you for not being the player that goes, by the way, DM, what time is it right now? It is 12:06 p.m. 37 seconds.
I wanted to, but the thing is Lucas doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like okay, the time of day doesn't really matter much to Lucas. So I'm like, as much as I want to fuck with you with that, I'm like, Lucas wouldn't do that.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to tell you right now, like if someone ever tells me, hey, you have to wait 15 minutes, I'm going to be that one person. Is it 15 minutes yet? Is it 15 minutes yet? Yeah, so I'm totally going to do that.
Down to the minute, bitch. Let's go. Not letting it go. Yeah.
But I mean, Lucas is just carefree, and I really like the fact of, you know, what I did last session, just meditating on that, you know, on that wheel, just for the simple fact of why everyone is like, while a ship is coming apart and Lucas has no clue the ship is coming apart. Last he knew there was a whirlpool and Quig started making the other whirlpool. I'm like, okay, I can't do anything here, so I'm just going to sit here and start meditating. And I meditated the whole session, almost the whole session. So,
yeah, but like we were talking about last night, this next session is gonna get real fun for everyone, to be sure. But Lucas is gonna have a time, I believe.
And I as much as I love being the main focus in a session, it's fantastic because I get to play a lot more. I get to, you know, be involved with everybody. I know that's not going to happen every time.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I love about our group is none of the people have that main player.
No one's a Mary Sue.
Yes. No one wants to, you know, try to be involved in everything. They know how to play their characters. So, you know, there's sometimes that I'm going to be, you know, not involved in a lot of things. There's sometimes I'm going to be involved in a lot. I know that the session started, like, this is a lot to do with a boo. That's why we have to go up to where we're going, is for a boo. And then you threw in Kate's backstory with her brother, which is freaking fantastic. And yeah.
I still love how she didn't expect me to throw that in so soon. She was expecting like later on in the campaign.
Well, what I love is in that session, like a lot of my friends came in and raided the session, and you know there was like 30 people coming in, and we're like just about to end it, and we're like, oh wow, we just got raided.
It was like 2 minutes before I was gonna end, and I saw that. I'm like,
let's go for another hour.
Ship chase, let's go. And the way that all came about with the brother and everything was her fault. Straight up, Kate, if you watch this, it was your fault. I just planned on just a random ship chase with a random group of Navy men. But then you brought it up, and I was like, yeah.
Honestly, that was some of my favorite role playing was meeting her brother, acting like Lucas around her brother, and then also my whole interaction with the wizard.
Yep.
So just that was.
I loved playing that wizard too. I loved playing that wizard. He was so like he couldn't just get like an entire, but then he got the chance to actually speak with you in his mind, and everything was clear in his mind. And I have no idea how I came up with that. It was just because.
And then you're like, oh crap, I hate that I have to talk so much, and then that's when I'm like, hey, you can talk to me in your mind, and you're like, thank you.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, okay, his voice will work there. All right, sweet. I don't have to keep on doing that.
And that's the thing, that when you do those stupid voices and we love them, and you know what, isn't it like Dave?
Yeah, Dave. It's all their fault about Dave because I just for funny I was describing him and they're like, now watch, he's got like some stupid voice. I'm like, actually his voice is actually like this. It's very high. And they're like, that's it, canon. I'm like, wait, no, I'm kidding. They're like, too late. It's canon. Fuck.
Yep.
And I was like, whatever, sure. And then the first time they got into battle with him, I was like, but when he rages, his voice drops. Yeah. Mostly because I could not feel cool going, come on over here, bitch. Hawk! Come on over, I'll fuck you up, huh?
I was gonna say it's one thing. Like, I mean, as you constantly keep saying to me, hey, you know, your choices are going to come back to bite you in the ass with me giving up my voice, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, yeah, I'm going to care in the moment while I'm role playing Lucas, and Lucas is, you know, it's going to suck, but I'm having a fantastic time, and anything that you do to Lucas where it screws him over in the time is just going to make me, you know, grow and change as the character to do something else. And I've always been one of those players, you know, yeah, do I want my characters to die? No, I don't ever want like my character that I'm playing to die. But am I going to be against if he happens to die because he's a fucking monk? He's flying around, jumping at shit, trying to attack things, and sometimes that gets the focus of the attack. And so if Lucas dies, yeah, I'm going to be sad because I'm enjoying the hell out of this character. But I already know what I'll do is I'll just roll up another character, create another one, and go from there. But I absolutely love playing Lucas. He is a great time.
You as a player are a great time. I'll say that. I enjoy all my players. I do. The ones that I didn't enjoy, I don't play with anymore. Cause fuck that. So I just I'm happy you joined us. It added a whole bunch of different light and life to the game. Having Lucas involved, and then fucking Norse. It's just adding a whole bunch of innuendos and a flying ship.
And this is, in all honesty, I don't know how. Really, like playing with Norris. Norris is to me. I know that he didn't play. He hasn't played a lot, has he?
He just started with you since 3.5.
Okay, yeah, but so with him and coming in, you know, role playing how he does and playing his character how he is, I really don't know how to role play with him yet because, you know, he's a very kind of a straightforward character. Like his character is a straightforward character. I need to do this. This is what we have to do because this is what I need to do. And so playing with his character is a little bit different because Lucas doesn't care what he's doing. He's just having fun that he's involved. And I can go on a ship? Hell yes. Okay, let's go.
Here's a fun thing. When you guys are working on the ship, making it fly and putting the scales on and all this is assuming that any of you survive. By the way. Maybe Lucas goes up to him and is like, hey, can you teach me some shit? Like,
and that's what I want to do. Like, you know, with Andy, you know, she has she has that tinkering ability. I know she's an artifice, but she has that tinkering ability. And I know that crafting per se in, you know, D&D is a little weird, but I want to learn a skill to where I can start making shit. And whether it's woodworking so I can make a, you know, different staff for me, or, you know, I can make a better staff for me, or I can make, you know, whatever things for the ship, you know, here and there, you know, not like huge things that, you know, repairing the ship or whatnot, but like little decorative shit that I can start putting around the ship. And Quig is like, what the fuck, Lucas, you know, what are you doing? I want, like, because I never had a skill with Lucas in mind, but now I want something that he can do to pass the time as well.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but I just had the thought if he did woodworking, just wooden ducks all over the ship.
I was thinking of something like, yeah, a little small animal. Honestly, I've been playing Pokemon a lot, so that's kind of what popped in my head, like little freaking Pokemons. But yeah, ducks is
Like
fantastic
a
as
little rubber
well.
ducky, but a wooden rubber ducky, and
And yeah,
just right here. Another one right here.
I would place them everywhere. And at first, I don't think Quig would know who's doing it, and then I'm still going to do it even after she tells me not to, because in Lucas's mind, hey, she's paying attention to me.
Ooh, any attention is good as is attention, whether it's
and
good or
and
bad.
that's how, like with the whole, it was a very little small thing, and passing a boo patted Lucas on his head after I jumped off, out of fucking nowhere and hit the, death bark with my staff, and he's like, hey, you did a good job. And that meant everything to Lucas. Hey, this is good.
I did
So
good. I did good.
basically, and so that's why I'm loving this character. And you know going forward, it's just how I'm kind of playing, this person. Like, hey, I want attention, but I don't want to, jump into a part of where I know nothing about. Yes, the ducks shall rise again.
Yeah, the Jeep ducks.
But yeah, so I want him to have attention, but I don't want it to be like jumping in the middle of a role playing thing with other characters that I would have nothing involved with.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Got to find a organic way
Exactly.
to bring it in, and that can be difficult sometimes.
Now I was gonna say, I can see myself, like, after I start woodworking, if I create something really cool, and even if everybody's talking about, hey, the flying shit that we're doing, I'm just going to come up and, hey, look at this duck I made, and just be
This
like,
fucking
look at
duck,
this.
guys.
Yeah, I mean, I can see myself doing something like that, but it's not like I'm going to do that every single time just to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it also inserts some levity into tense situations.
Yeah, yeah. I can imagine a lot of situations. Steerborn has another nightmare, wakes up, and there's a duck.
Exactly. So it's just one of those things of I'm going to woodworking. Yes, I want my character to start woodworking, and
I will. Noted. Will be thrown in. One thing I wanted to ask. At the end of the session, Steerborn keeled over and is currently unconscious. What do you, Andrew, think happened?
um, so with him being a cleric, to what I know, they're really heavily involved in their gods. That they're a cleric, and with whenever he did divine intervention and tried to pray to his god, and his god didn't answer, and he says, my god has forsaken me. I truly think it's dealing something with his god and the other evil entity that was at that door during his dream sequence. I really think it's something dealing with that. And for the simple fact of, clerics know gods don't forsake them easily.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, granted, I don't know how heavily his character is involved with his god, but the simple fact of he's praised to his god, and he's like, because he didn't get what he wanted, oh, you forsaken me? I mean, it's...
If you remember, yeah, he said, he straight up, he didn't answer me. He ignored me.
Yeah. And I know with playing D&D as long as I have and DMing, gods don't answer you the way that you want 95% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the fact that he's like, my god's ignored me, he's forsaken me, that's not good for a cleric.
Yeah.
So and yeah, I might have just given you some ideas differently than what you wanted or you were going to do. And trust me, I know that's how DMs do constantly.
That's not why I asked the question. No.
Well, I mean, that's like the fact, like, oh, he's going to lose his arm. Like, And everyone's like, don't give him ideas. I'm like, yeah, Nat, but then you can just attach the hammer to his arm and he can have a freaking hammer arm. And now it's like, oh, hey, that would be awesome.
Never mind, cut off my arm, please.
I mean, so it's just one of those things of, trust me, I'm glad to give you ideas, because if it adds anything more to what you had already thought of, or if it makes it just a tiny bit better, we're all having fun doing it.
I just had the thought too. If they did that, and they gave him like a hammer arm, he has a spell that can basically make one of his arms immune to fire.
A flaming hammer, yes.
A superheated hammer. Fuck yeah.
But yeah, so it's one of those things of, I know, with as naive as Lucas is, as naive as I'm playing him to be, Lucas is going to get fucked over so many times because he is naive. And I understand that.
What? So, a couple of sessions ago, we ended with Lucas. He was in his dream world. Kalistars don't dream like normal humans do. They're in like a dream-like world that they control. And you heard your voice calling out. What do you think was going on there?
So I'm going to answer this two ways, because Lucas and Andrew
Think two different
think
things.
of it. Yeah, think two different things. So with Lucas, he believes it's just a memory of his, like whenever he was in the monastery. That's what he's thinking it was. That he's reliving a memory from, in this plane. He's remembering a memory that happened to him whenever he was, in a monastery, in solitary confinement, and where he's yelling for help. Because, I mean, yes, the monks did take away my voice, but I didn't, it wasn't an all the time. If I was good, I was able to talk. But most of the time, my voice was taken away. So that's what Lucas thinks it was, that it was just a memory.
Mm.
What Andrew thinks it is it's a way that he's going to get fucked over. He's going to, like, if this dream sequence again, like, if I'm able to get to where the voice is, it's not going to be me who's speaking. It's going to be something else that has my voice. Since I gave my voice away to the Man of Shadows, it doesn't mean the Man of Shadows is going to keep my voice. He could easily give it away as well. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I think with me as a player, not as Lucas, but I truly think this is the start of where his voice, where he gave his voice away, and it's something that's going to, have a lasting effect. And I knew that when I gave my voice away, but I wanted to, as Lucas, he's like, I'm not able to speak regardless, so screw it, I don't need it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why Lucas gave the voice away to, have something that could help out. I mean, knowing which way is north on a ship is always awesome.
Always.
And so
it's going to be even more useful in a ship in the air.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you can follow wave currents or stuff like that.
So with me always knowing which way is north is fantastic, but I know that there's going to be a reckoning coming with me giving away my voice.
Which now, with that ability, I wonder if Lucas could become one of the greatest navigators.
At this time, I can tell you Lucas wouldn't care. I would easily become a navigator if Quig wanted me to. So if Quig was like, hey, do you think you could navigate for me since you always know which way is north? And Lucas would, yes, right away. I mean, in my eyes, it's one of those things of, it's not so much as I'm indebted to Quig, but she's been so nice to me without having to be nice to me. It's like I feel like I owe her something.
Not to mention she
And
was the first one to be nice to you
yes,
for nothing.
like with Andy, Andy recognized me as, um, I can never remember her name. Your wife's
Nira.
old character, Nira. Like Nira's old ward. So she's like, "Oh crap, I got to take care of him now." And Quig is like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Oh, your hat's awesome," blah blah blah. And like she's like, "Hey, let's go get you one." And just like that, I got a hat.
Mm-hmm.
So
The coolest hat.
yeah, yes, in my eyes, the coolest hat. A lot better than her brother's that he lost.
His was totally cooler, but it's now at the bottom of the ocean, so
So it doesn't count.
yours is officially cooler now. He's a very fancy dressed man. I am still salty that nobody started a fight with him.
Well, the thing is like I and what I've been thinking with Lucas is because he never had a bad interaction with Quig's brother. Quig's brother, I don't ever remember his name. I'm horrible at names. I hate to say
Elsarin.
it. Elsarin. So he never had a bad interaction with Elsarin. Elsarin never attacked him. Elsarin never was truly mean to him. And then that last comment of "you remind me of your brother," it's one reason why I want to be able to do to scry, because I'm going to scry him and I'm going to fucking talk to him, because I'm like, ooh, Quig is really nice to me. He wasn't mean to me, and their family. So
I threw that in there for that exact reaction.
It's one of those things of I want to continue talking to all these people that I've already met that has been either nice to me or actually haven't been mean to me.
Yeah.
Or tried to kill me.
I also threw that in there for the simple reaction of Kate, because if you watched her face when I told you that, the way
and then whenever I asked her about it,
it was really kind of to you, and almost soft, and she sat there and went, because without giving too much away, when they were younger, they were friends. He was a wonderful brother. And now I sowed the seed in there of
he isn't all the way gone.
Is that loving brother still there?
But yeah, so that's one reason why I'm like, as soon as I'm able to scry, which I know that in all honesty, I will never be able to cast a spell myself because it has a verbal aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why whenever I was looking into kind of multi-classing my character, like I couldn't be a wizard or a sorcerer because of the verbal aspect of spells.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could get the cantrips, but outside of that, I wouldn't be able to do anything worthwhile.
The amount of fun that Lucas would have with prestidigitation alone, just that.
I know, and so I mean, I haven't played a multi-class character in other than a one-shot. So just the fact of getting more aspects of, Lucas in, like becoming a kind of becoming a pirate, like with Quig. I know Quig's a war cleric, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And so learning stuff from her. I mean, hell, I could easily see myself multi-classing as a cleric, because something that, like in the fight with the Death Bark, sorry, I struggled with the simple fact of whether I should attack it or whether I should go down and help Tristan, who got down.
He was down, yeah.
And so I struggled, like, internally, like, me playing Lucas, what would Lucas do? Lucas wanted to help him out, but he also knew that he wasn't physically strong enough to lift up Tristan and kind of pull him off to the side. So that's why I went with fighting. So me seeing my friends down is a heartache for me. Like, I don't want to see these people hurt.
Noted.
Yeah, so I mean, so that's why one of the first things I did, like whenever and that big fight where we got the void. I don't know what it's called, the circular void,
Void.
where it was all black. If you stayed in it, you
Oh,
got
that thing.
damage. Yeah, when that happened, like as soon as it was my turn, I ran out. I knew where Quig was, so I grabbed a hold of her and pulled her out.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those things of, um, Kilt actually just asked a question. My character can't make any noise out loud. He has an ability to mind link with any creature that he sees, any creature or character that he sees. So he doesn't actually make noise at all.
And
I mean, other than walking.
before he gave up his voice, like, sure, he could make sounds. But now that and he could technically have spoken, he just didn't. But since he gave up his voice, no matter what he does, his character cannot make any sound from his voice at all. So, except maybe like a heavy breath or a grunt, maybe. I don't know, but
Honestly, how I'm playing him, he like heavy breath. I agree with, but like any noise at all, that's how I'm playing him. That he does not make any really noise at all, with, excluding his mind talk.
yeah. Oh, the big carefree Labrador can't even laugh either, though. Oh, no.
I know.
I never really thought of that. Why
Yeah.
I gotta bring that into my mind, Guilt? Damn.
Yeah,
Why I gotta bring up the trauma that I gave characters. The man can't laugh. Damn.
Hey, but you always see that smile on his face.
Yep. You see a smile anyway. For now. Could you use a Ring of Spell Storing, the 5th level scrying spell, saved in it, and based on how the ring's description is written in it, doesn't require verbal components? That is true. If you had an item, like a Ring of Spell Storing or something to that effect, yeah.
I'm trying to convince Dustin to create me like a mirror or some kind of orb
that you
that
can scry with.
I can only scry with, and it's, however many times a day or however many times a long rest, and that I'm able to use. So I will be able to scry with this object.
Mm-hmm. And I know where that is.
In the Dragon Horde, isn't it?
It exists. There's a lot of things in a Dragon Horde. You don't know.
Trust me, I know. And I'm telling you right now, I know that we're going to be running into dragons, either next session or the session afterwards.
So a fun player knowledge thing here, or DM knowledge, technically, I had already planned a dragon encounter. Now, it's just a bigger dragon encounter.
Of course it is. I'm going to try to talk to it and befriend it. I befriended a dragon before. I'm going to try again, and that's in Lucas's mind.
Okay.
Is it going to work? Probably not. But I'm still going to try.
Is it gonna get you eaten? Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
the possibility exists. Like, oh yeah, great, yeah, we can be friends. Let's be friends. Come on over.
Hey, just because I get swallowed does not mean I'm dead.
True. But you will be.
Yeah.
But you'll be in a small place, all
Yep.
alone, where no
Yep.
one can hear you.
But could I still talk to the dragon? Because I still see the dragon.
Would Lucas think about that?
Probably not.
Because you gave me one
Oh, I know,
traumatic
and
thing.
And that's why as I flesh out my backstory, as I think more of Lucas, that's why I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm using that. Get ready.
In all
a dark, lonely place.
Well, in all honesty, if I would have reacted to the void much more if I didn't hear Abu's trumpeting.
Yeah. I can definitely picture that he was really freaking out, And then he heard that,
Yeah, and I
and
was
he's
like,
like,
oh, okay, people are still around me.
Safety,
I'm not
here,
alone.
I can do this. But for that hot minute there of silence,
Yeah,
he was just hyperventilating.
and so I mean that's the
Yeah.
thing. As we play more, and as much as I hate to say it, as we play more, I'm more fleshing him out. So as much as I hate to say, some of the things I didn't think of before, like I probably should have played Lucas a little bit differently in that moment, thinking of this, but I hadn't had a true fleshed out backstory.
Yeah, we really just threw him in there. So,
Yeah,
but that's a beautiful thing about D&D. You write the story as you go, and it becomes its own thing. You know, um, with with Stuarborn, we're kind of in the same boat. We don't have a lot of backstory to him. He's a Goliath from a group of Goliaths, and he was a blacksmith.
and he's looking for Whitestone,
He
and
got a chance to go to Tal'Dorei to find Whitestone, and he's like, "This is some magical shit. I want to work with magical shit. I'm going." And on the way there, uh, um, so this is the guy that missed out. No, this isn't. Norse is the one that missed out on the awesome weapon. Because, so I don't know if you saw, Andrew. Um, he failed the first challenge, so I gave him a second one. They had to reach 1,000 followers on his Twitch by midnight Wednesday night, and he didn't get 1,000 until like 7 a.m. Thursday morning.
yeah,
And I'm like, "You're screwed." No, I was gonna give him a big old power boost, an awesome weapon. Was also gonna give him a cloak of billowing. Just cause I might still give him that. Just cause
well,
I
I mean,
want to see Norse with a cloak of billowing.
well, in the way I look at it, and I know, like this is coming from me as a DM. I always want to give my characters awesome shit.
Yeah.
But the problem is, once you give them awesome shit, then you have to make the monster stronger as well. Because if all your characters have awesome shit, then
Learned that.
it's an unbalanced thing. So
I really learned that.
yeah, it sucks.
As a younger DM, I gave the rogue a flame tongue dagger, and I gave the cleric the mace of disruption, and the ranger, I gave her like a super powerful bow. I powered them up so much. Are we playing? No, this is the Monday night game. Tana71 is my father, and
Oh, okay.
he's going to play a character in my Monday night game that I do not stream.
Okay.
With a bunch of friends of mine, and
Awesome.
he sucks at differentiating the games. Andrew is from the Thursday night game.
I was gonna say, well, with the amount of games that you have, it's
true. I have one.
Yeah.
I have another game tonight after this show. So
yeah, I know. I like you've told me about that you play most nights, and
yeah, I live the dream of most D&D players. I live the dream of most DMs, because that Monday night group, I've been DMing for them for 2 years now, and it's pretty much been the same people.
and those are
Hush up, Dad.
those are the
And muted.
those are the games, like those are the things, like the sessions, the campaigns that you want. This is one reason why, like, when you're like, oh yeah, it's like whenever I was joining this game, you're like, it's every Thursday. I'm like, that is amazing, because there's sometimes I'm like, do I really want to play? No, I'm going to get on anyway. And then 5 minutes into the game, I'm like, I'm so glad I got on. It's just it's a weekly game. The interaction with all the other characters. Adding Norris into it. It's great. He's a mod. You can't mute him.
I could change that too. A supple man. I'll nat
But
20 your ass.
but yeah, that's why I absolutely love that I joined this, this campaign, because it's something to look forward to. Like if because I work Sunday through Wednesday, if one of my work days is horrible, I'm just like, I got D&D to look forward to, and that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, anytime like you can get me into any of the one shots that you run, I'm like, yes, please let me in.
Speaking of one shots, we're about at the end of the show here, so I will go ahead and announce. Last night we had a surprise person join our Discord because he will be in a one shot. For those of you on TikTok, you will probably know the guy with the obscure Lord of the Rings facts.
Don Marshall.
Don Marshall will be in a one shot. I don't know any details other than that. Who else is gonna be in it? Is he just gonna join this Thursday night group for a one shot? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But Andrew, I'm probably gonna throw you in there. I'm not gonna lie.
Heck yeah.
I know I need to throw Nat in there because when I first mentioned that Don Marshall was gonna play with us, she lost her shit. She
And
was
the
like,
way I look
"Are
at it,
you kidding me?"
and the way I look at it, if it's a one shot and I can't join in if he doesn't join our campaign, I I totally understand. I think it would be really cool for him to join our campaign. Like if it's just like with him as a one shot, just a random character, and then if he ever wants to join again, he could easily come back.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
So like
Maybe
if
just have
he
him
joins,
be
he could
random
be a
NPC.
recurring character only whenever he wants to.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Has Nat heard Jenny yet? I think so. She saw the video that he voiced for me. Robbie, I am planning on sometime in the future. I'll be running a bunch of one shots. I don't know when yet. Maybe between some campaigns, I'll be running some one shots, and I will be getting like, there's been a bunch of people on TikTok reaching out to me to want to do one shots, and I definitely also want to have people that have subscribed to me or gifted a whole bunch of subscriptions. I want them at the top of the list for sure because they have really helped me out with everything going on here. But I also do want to just all the people who follow me. If they want to get in, I want to give them a chance and have some fun one shots. So yeah, you can join the Discord. Yeah, I know I broke the Discord link. There we go. There's the link to the Discord. Join in on there. I'll probably announce on there when I'll be doing the one shots, and I will try to do my best to get as many people in on the one shots that I can. Andrew, you included. I will definitely be throwing you in there, along with other big TikTok people.
You're welcome, buddy.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you, butthead.
I know. Your dad also asked a question. I've been playing with him for about a month now, right? Month and a half, something like that.
Yeah. A few sessions now, at least. But yeah, and hopefully for quite a bit longer. I do have a plan at the end of this campaign. We'll actually be going on to Curse of Strahd.
That I can't wait for. I've never DM'd that. I've played one or two sessions in it, so I don't know a lot, but yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, Robbie, You think you're a nobody on the internet, bro? Like, I have no idea how all this is happening. All these big TikTok people I've been playing with, it's all an accident. I don't know what the fuck happened. Don Marshall, it's like, hey, I'm interested in playing. Let's do this. And then he joined in one of my Discords. It was an accident. If they release Dragonlance, you'll play, Dad? Mm-hmm. We'll see. Maybe I'll just do a Dragonlance game. I can homebrew that crap. Sure. Anyway, guys, it's a little bit past what we usually go, but I appreciate everyone for sure. And of course, right when we're near Kilt, man, bro. Here's some more happy accidents, man. Thanks. Your brother was a happy accident. Kilton Bard is actually the brother of Well and Septic Life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the game that I had with him, fucking accident. Didn't mean to do that. They were just on Twitch one day, and they were talking about how they want to stream their own home game. And I'm like, hey, I can run a one-shot with you, and, you know, kind of promote your game for you while we do it. He's like, absolutely, let's do this. And I'm like, oh, he saw my comment. Oh, he saw like, are you sure you want to do this? Let's do this. And he's like, yeah, get a hold of my brother and let's set this up. I'm like, right now, let's do it. And then on top of that accident, Ronan GT got in on it because he messaged Well and Septic Life, and Well and Septic Life was like, hey, mind if Ronan GT comes in? Do I mind if the King of the Petty Squad plays D&D with me? Do I mind? Yeah, sure, please, thank you. It was great. But anyway, I appreciate everybody. Kilt, thank you very much. Dad, I wouldn't be alive without you. How's that? Actually, I will say, right here, right now, I will say, since the beginning of me really getting into streaming, my dad has been in most, if not all, of my streams, going in there, telling my players to use Fireball. So,
it's honestly like that with my mom. Like anytime that I stream, she would be in my sessions. Like she joins every single night that I play on here, and yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it does feel good to have the backing of your parents in there. Still think your mom should. On that note, everyone, have a wonderful night. What a way to end the show.
Thank you for everyone coming out, and thanks for having me here.
Of course, we'll have you on again on the show another night. Maybe you'll be my co-host like Nicole is accidentally being. But thank you all. Have a wonderful night.